That's just 2 sections of log. Fire is an art. You don't have to keep piling on wood. There's a way to maintain this vibe right here and not waste all your wood. July 3rd. It's about 9 in the morning. I was up for a while, but I was laying in bed till it got hot in there. It's warm today, this morning. No wind at the moment. First time I decided to use a fan inside the van this morning, anyhow. Well, since I've been on this trip. First time speaking. Solar panels are good. I've got 2 fans. One's charging on the solar or the generator out there right now. The other one plugs into the little one I have inside. I went for a walk up here this morning. I was sitting here grinding my beans. That's not a euphemism. I'm writing down things that I need for the van that I need to do. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking about the dam. And I was looking over here. I was looking like, hey, that might be a cool spot to camp too. Because down here, there's a lot of ants. Not many in the van. They get on the van. I don't have any like open food in the van for them to want to come in and look, keep coming back. That's the thing. Open food. But up here, it's a big rock. So I was walking up here. And I figure I'd take you for a walk. A little bit of a, it's a grade. I got up over here and I found all these shell casings. So people like to shoot up here. We got some AK-47 shells. Got some 22s. Got some 5.56. A lot of them. There's a lot of them up here. And then I realized, like right here, it's not bad. It's not flat. And then I saw this spot where my shadow is. The shadow knows. Your shadow always knows. This is flat right here. So, if I was to come here again, I'd consider parking right here. And by the way, I'm not sure I'm supposed to be parking here. This is Forest Service area, it's not BLM. I heard there's a lot of BLM here where you can camp anywhere. And on the sign up there it says camping in designated areas. But there was already a fire ring down here that somebody made, not a metal one. And I haven't seen a ranger. Nobody said anything to me, so I don't know. But I would chance it, and I would park here. back it up here on a little bit of an angle like I'm looking now. Awning would open up, side door would open up right to here. And that would be pretty cool. No shade at all though throughout the day. The sun's going to come around, it's going to traverse this way. Where I'm at, I get a little bit of shade morning as the sun's barely coming up over the trees. Then there's the tree over the van. That provides a lot of shade throughout the day when the sun is obviously over there. And then there's the tree in front of the van. That gives me a little more shade in the afternoon. So that spot is pretty good. I think today might be my last day. I might decide to drive back on the 4th. I don't know. I could stay here for 2 weeks, but I can't. I've got responsibilities, and I've been off-grid this whole time. So tomorrow will be a week that I've been gone, and I didn't tell anybody I was leaving. I just left town. So I'm going to have text messages and social media messages and comments on YouTube videos and everything else. I'm not looking forward to that. But I think what I'll do today is I think I'm going to walk upstream, and one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to lift all these dead trees out of the river here. Just move them up on that bank. Those are all good posts. They're good firewood for one thing, but those posts could be used for a structure or something down the road if I ever came back here. And then I was thinking about the dam. The dam. Let's see if we can walk down there. Here's another thing here. So, I don't know if you'd really want to do it, but I checked it out. I think it's doable. Is this boring you? I think it's possible to drive right through here. Come off here, drive through here. There's this little tree here that's in the way. That's not the end of the world. This stump is all dried out. That could move. You could probably lift that right up out of there. Not a big deal. This is dead, been here for a while, so you can lift that up and move that right out of the way. I think you could, 4x4, right? Come right through here. It might be a little narrow here with this rock, but I've been thinking, one of the things I need to add to the van, I've got a 6-foot steel pole, octagon with a point on one end and a wedge on the other. It's for, moving stuff like that. I might be able to wedge that, lift that out of the way and roll it down out of the way. This little one here, move this out of the way. My point is, I think you might be able to drive right down into here by moving a few rocks and whatnot, and then park it. Getting out would be a hassle, I suppose. Let's go down to the water and walk you back down towards the dam, because I had a thought on that too. It's not bad, huh? This water's a lot colder in the mornings. I think part of it, I don't know, you tell me. This is all rock here. And I think that the sun overhead is kind of hot out. It's nowhere near as warm here as it is, down in Los Angeles right now. It's probably in the 90s down there. I would guess right now it's over 80. It's hot to me. I don't like the heat. People give me grief every once in a while when I talk about the heat, when it's like 80 degrees. I hate that. Perfect temperature for me is like anywhere from like 50 to 72 degrees. That's what I like. But yeah, I'm going to lift all these up, put them up on the bank. Anyhow, when the sun's up here and it's beating on these rocks, it's heating this up. And that's going to warm the water up. I mean, that seems to make sense to me, even though it's fast-moving water through here. You have to be careful on this, too. The black that you see in the stones, woohoo! It's slippery. I just slipped a little bit, so it'd be real easy to fall on your ass here. I'm sure there's a few of you that want to watch me do that, but I'm going to try not to do that. Whenever I'm holding the camera at myself and I'm not perfectly in frame, it's because I'm looking down and I'm not paying attention to you. I don't want to fall down and crack my friggin' skull open. Can you see the dam? I took a bunch of stills in the last video, and it's funny because it's hard to understand, to see it. There's a little pool right here. You could soak right here. I might give that a shot. I could come here with the shovel and shovel all that sand that you see through the water right up over it. Of course, I don't need to because I created my own swimming pool over here. Or, you know, soaking pool. So what hit me was, I might try to do it, I don't know. There's a rock on the top that's pretty broad and thin. You know what I'm getting at already. This collects this little bit of funk. It doesn't bother me. It's from everything upstream, you know. It's very deep here now. I mean, okay, when I say very deep, it's a few feet deep. I can sit in there up to my shoulders and soak. You know, for the cold water, which is good for your system. Matter of fact, I feel like I'm feeling benefits from it. I think I might start doing that at home. Just fill up the tub with cold water and sit in it. That's not an ice plunge, but feels real good. What I was thinking is it'd be neat to redo it and have it so there's a thing that you can move out of the way in the center so you can clear all this out. Right, because a lot of stuff's going to end up collecting in here. So you could just open something up in the center. I could make a board. I could make a frame with a board and bring it here again sometime. You just lift the board up. All the water clears right out. This all gets super shallow again. Because these plants were not underwater before. Right, there's grass under the water over there. That was not under the water before. So you understand what I'm saying. Do that, let this all go, and then put that in place when you want to. I might even do that before I leave. I might even do it today. Just set this up so that just stacking a few stones in the center makes it flood up again. I don't know. I don't know what I feel like doing. You got to have something to do. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there, and it's warm now. The last few days has been much cooler. And I don't want to just sit around in the heat. If I'm going to do that, I might as well just be home. At least I got television, you know. By the way, being off grid has been awesome. I mean, it's been really, as you can imagine, not talking to anybody. Oh my God, dream come true, man. I like talking, as you guys know. And it was fun the first couple days being here with other people. And around the fire at night, it was a lot of fun, a lot of laughter. I love that. But I like being alone with my own thoughts, mostly. So that's why I need to make that time every single day of my life. But not being on a computer, not checking Instagram, not posting anything, not answering comments, none of that stuff, it's been pretty good. Get out of here. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking, now that if it's going to get hot like this, I don't have any thermometers. I was making a list. Maybe I'll show you the list. But I want to get some stick-on thermometers. I want one on the outside of the van, maybe on both sides, and I want one inside the van. And I want a little keychain one I can keep with me when I'm hiking. And I want that because, as we know, you don't always have... I have zero service, so it's not like I could check the weather on the phone to see how hot it is here. So that's something. There's a bunch of stuff I've come up with that I need to do. Matter of fact, this hat I'm wearing, it's always been a little bit big for me. It's small for a lot of other people, but it doesn't sit down on my head enough for it to feel secure. I've got a grommet kit here. It might be too big. I got to see what I brought. I have some grommets. I hope I brought them for the leather work. I got the wrong size. I got some bigger ones, and I got some much bigger ones, and I got the small ones that I needed. But if I got a medium-sized grommet kit, I might try to put a grommet in the brim of this cap here, and then run like a, you know what I'm saying, something under my chin, so I can tighten that up so the hat won't blow off. This is a 30X. I don't know if that's in frame here. It's a 30X hat. That's the quality of this hat. That's a high quality hat. That's not garbage. So I've never seen a 30X before when I bought this one. I bought this in Colorado when I was out in Creed with my buddy Lance and his brother. All of us Marines, you know. At the Mountain Man store in Creed, I bought the cap. When I was there was a tricorn hat. I think it was made from real beaver felt. Made just like they made them a couple hundred years ago. And I put it on. I never forgot about it. 2 years went by and I called them. They still had it and I bought it. She gave me a really good deal on it and shipped it to me. I was thinking about wearing that, you know, for this weekend, even though tomorrow's the 4th. I don't have much room left on the phone. I'm going to try to I figured out how to take stuff off the phone onto the computer finally. But I tried to do like 30 things at a time and it wasn't working right. It was only taking some of them. So I'm going to go back there this afternoon, hopefully when it's a little cooler. When I get a little bit of shade. Boy, it's sun, it seems higher today even. Doesn't make any sense. Sit down, I'll get some fans on me in the van and see if I could upload some of these videos, make a little more room on the phone. I've been deleting a lot of stuff. Well, I want, you know, you guys will see this and you will already have seen what I'm about to say, which is I'm going to do a video where when I leave, I just want to do a video that I can upload to Instagram and YouTube as soon as I get service, telling everybody I've been off grid for a week. Sorry. I'm driving home now and I'll be catching up with everybody when I get home. And by the way, I've got like 5 or 6 videos from this trip. I'm just blathering. Got some shade here from the tree if I stand here. So pretty soon the van will be shaded. It'll be nice. I wanted to point out something really quick. This terrain here, very, very much like when I was in Greece back in, I think, 98. Back in the 90s, I went to Europe like 5 times because I had an injury on a movie set that led to what a nightmare. You know, my ankle blew out, and I had a bunch of scopes and a ligament reconstruction, all that, and I was on disability for 4 years. It was a friggin' nightmare. I couldn't work. That was, I don't remember. It was in that time period, and all this happened. So I had a little bit of money, and they were paying me, actually, right? So it was good. So I was getting paid, and then in the end I had a little bit of a settlement. But at that time, I saved the money because I wasn't doing anything with it other than living. So I went to Greece, saw my dad and everything, and I went to the islands for like 5 weeks. And every island, I didn't go to a whole bunch of them. I don't remember them all. My cousins joined me for the first few days, and then it was just me, and I got a scooter wherever I went. And I had my bag. I had this really cool North Face pack that I flew with, and it's also a backpack, and I still have it. It's super cool. It's kind of rare and desirable. Anyhow, you guys know by now with me with gear. I like quality stuff. So I had that. I actually brought way too much stuff too, because when you're camping like this, and in Greece, I was just wearing a bathing suit and a shirt like this the whole time. It was ridiculous, all the stuff I brought. Anyhow, I got to the island of Paros, and I stayed in a big campground the first night, and it was too many people, young people partying. You couldn't get any sleep. Skasmos means shut up. You know, it's one of the few Greek things and I was saying that, and they were just laughing at me. Excuse me. So the next day I got up and got on the scooter riding around the island, and I found this campsite. It was kind of up on a mountain like this. It was interesting. So I stayed there for, I don't know, 4 days, 5 days or something. And there was this guy, his name was Mike, and he lived just above me. You know, kind of hard to describe. But yeah, it was like stepped into the mountain, these campsites. And he lived in a dirt floor tent, just a tarp, wore a bathing suit. His nose was knocked from here to here. Still a handsome guy with a mustache. He showed me a picture of himself when he was 19, and the guy was a stud. And he said he owned a bookstore in Athens, but every summer he closed up shop and he went there, and he lived there for the summer. You could tell he was a ladies' man when he was younger, and that's probably what happened to his nose. He probably slept with somebody's wife or something. And every morning he would listen to like this Greek radio thing, which was a little annoying to me. But he was rolling joints, like blunts. He was rolling tobacco with marijuana. And so I went over one day to ask him if he turned down his music a little bit. He was totally cool about it. But then he offered me this. So then every day we were doing that. But then he started asking me for favors with the scooter and everything. Like I was riding him into town to get supplies or bringing him stuff back. I was like, dude, I'm here on vacation. I'm not here to do a bunch of shit for some guy, you know. So I wanted to find another camp spot. But when I was there, this is exactly what it was like. Same exact sort of terrain. It's pretty interesting. What happened was I got tired of that, so I went riding around. I found this place called the Windsurfing Beach on the north part of the island. And I went up to the beach to look around. And there was a shower next to me, and these two beautiful girls just wearing nothing but thongs. So their boobs are out and everything, and they're gorgeous. They walk by, they smile at me, they hi, and they're taking a shower less than 10 feet from me. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm camping here. This is the place for me right here. So that's what I did. I moved it. And it was funny because they had facilities there, and they had an area where people had RVs parked. And then they had another place where it was kind of covered with tent, and everybody had their tents in there. It was too claustrophobic for me. But between the two, I've put pictures of this up before. Between the two was this little mini juniper grow. It wasn't very large. It was probably like 20 feet. And there was like this hollow in there. And I pitched my tent in there. I was totally secluded and alone. Nobody screwed with me. Had the scooter parked in front of the tent. It was awesome. Went to the beach every day. I met these 5 Italian girls I spent some really fun quality time with. One of them more than the others. But, you know, it was a good time. That was the Loredana chick I mentioned before. Green eyes, bleach blonde hair, crazy tan. Italiano. Comprende? All right. This area just reminded me of Greece, so that's why I told you that. I'm going to attempt to show you this, but it's not, you know, perfect setup here. I just got one grommet in the hat. Worked out. It's pretty tight. What I'm doing here is I'm putting the cheesy, I should just make my own hat band, but I'm putting this on and I'm thinking about where it's going to go. I'm giving myself enough room for the paracord that I'm going to use as a chin strap, and I'm coming out just a little bit here, and it's just enough room for the anvil to work, barely. So that part is a little bit tedious. There are some grommets on the sides. I'm lining it up with the center grommet that's already on the hat. All right, I've got the leg adjusted out here to the outside. This is just this table that you're sitting on. Woohoo, it's right here. That's all that is. It holds this table up right now. It actually works pretty good. Putting the good side of the grommet up, poking it right through that hole. I got the liner washer section here. A little further out on this one, but that's better. Doesn't have to be an exact science. That fits over that. And then got the anvil here. I got to put this all the way to the edge because this has to sit out here. The hat has to hang off the edge of the table, and I'm putting the leg directly underneath the anvil. I got the anvil setter, and now I've got to kind of make sure I'm lined up with this thing. You can feel it set in there. So I'm going to put it here. And we're set in there perfect. That fits right into the anvil. And that grommet is set. 2 grommets. This one's a little bit tighter. It doesn't matter. So what I found, I had 2 sets of grommet kits. This is the one I'm using, the bigger one. It's number 10. The other one has like a 6, and it was way too small. But what this did, I figured that 2 layers of paracord going through the hole creates enough friction to hold it snug. So I'm going to wrap it around both ways, and you'll get the picture. And then I got some leather, some thick leather. I'll poke a couple holes in that, and I'll run that through both sides. I'll be able to cinch that leather up underneath my chin. It should work out fine. All right, so there you have it. I just took this piece of leather here. The longest part of this whole project was finding paracord. I have a whole hunk of black paracord I found yesterday. I don't know where it is, but I found this stuff, which is even thicker. That came on this contraption here for, you don't need knots. It's thicker than normal paracord, and it has that cool pattern to it. So I wrapped it around the hat a bunch of times. Now I got extra paracord for an emergency situation, and I made this little piece of leather. I got my punches here for my leather craft because I brought all the tools. Punched a couple holes in it, and that'll stay on my head when it's windy. This is exactly the sort of thing I want to do in the van when I'm out in the middle of nowhere. This is the contraption that came with this paracord here. So, which I never used. Is bouncing around in a pack. And this worked out. I think it worked out perfect. How? Powering that one fan right now off that. The other one's charging there. This is extra stuff here. You guys see what's going on in here. And this vacuum is always in here because of work, but I can actually sit on it. So I cleaned out this closet, as I said, and I put all the first aid and like hand sanitizer and all that stuff in this one bag here. This bag is superfluous now. I don't think I'll put anything in it. This is a rain jacket. So that's going to go away, and this will go up there. And just, you see the kind of room I have in here. It's not bad. This, as you know, this table folds right up into there, and I just stashed the leg. And all I did here is, this is just some mesh I bought, and I've just got a bunch of magnets holding it in place. So when I go in and out, I take 2 magnets off, and I'm careful about it. There's magnets holding it up along the top, but that's not permanent, right? What that's going to be eventually is I'm going to do a Velcro thing, and I'm going to get one of those ones that you buy that you go down the middle. It opens right up, but it's magnets. It holds it back together. And I need one wide enough for this doorway. Then I'll trim it to fit, fold it over, staple it or sew it or something, and it'll work perfect. So when I'm camping, the last couple times I've gone, I've never shut the side door. Now, I guess in a dangerous part of the country with bears or something, you might want to close the side door. Of course, I got the back hatch open. So I guess it's just going to depend on where you're at, how you feel. I'd like to do what other people do with screen situations for these little pop-out doors, but to make that little piece of screen that just goes along the pop-out, and you got to silicone that in, I don't know, it looks cheesy. So I have to think that one out. But yeah, the seat swiveled around. You guys see what's going on here. It's not bad. All right. So I got all those trees out of the way, those dead trees. It was interesting. I had to go back to the camp for my trusty broad axe with the custom lady pleaser handle to chop a limb off of the top of this here, because as I was lifting these out from here, I couldn't get these bigger ones over the top of it. And after I moved them, I found this pine tree was pushed all the way down into the ground here. So I propped it up, I lifted up on it, I rested it upon that log. I was going to try to wedge that rock there, but I figure it's good enough. So I did a good deed, saved that pine tree. At least it's got a chance to get stronger now without all that dead, literally dead weight on it. A couple other things I wanted to mention. It's been nice here. It just got warm today. It got warmer yesterday, and then it's warmer today. And just as a tip, I don't buy into this thing with new products that are like nylon, polypropylene, whatever. Moisture wicking technology that's oil-based products. I'm wearing a 100% cotton chambray shirt. That's what you want in hot weather. You can take it off, put it in the water, put it on, and it's natural air conditioning. You want a wide brim straw hat. I thought about wearing it yesterday, but then I knew today I was going to need it. Luna sandals. Can't go wrong with Luna sandals. These things are made really well. They stay on your feet. You hike anywhere in them. They got Vibram soles. And one other last tip. Just on, if you got a watch, another reason to wear a watch. This is my Seiko Perpetual Calendar Titanium. It's kind of an Explorer. I like to call it an Explorer. That's not what they call it, but that's what it kind of looks like to me. Here's the sun. You want to point your hour hand at the sun, and then halfway between the hour hand and 12 is south. And I know that that's accurate for where I'm at right now. So that way is north. Just a tip for you. I went ahead and I hiked all the way up this waterway here, river, creek, whatever you want to call it, until I hit a patch of woods again, and I cleaned out more debris out of the river, so couldn't help myself. I'm going to go relax. I couldn't get my good videos, my long videos off the camera onto the computer for some reason. So I don't know. I've got like 17 minutes of footage left, availability on the phone. So I'm going to stop this here. I don't think I'll do any more. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some more video tonight, like a minute or two. And then as soon as I hit someplace where I've got service, I'm going to pack up tonight And then in the morning, I'll just have to close up the hatchback net thing there, and then I'm hitting the road. So clean, get my toilet back. I've been using that, the latrine. And then, yeah, I'm gonna hit the road as early as I can. And as soon as I stop where I've got some service, I'm gonna try uploading a video. I think I mentioned it earlier, just letting you guys know I've been gone for a week, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll stop for gas somewhere after that, and then I'll try uploading the first video, because it was like an hour and 20 minutes. I hope you guys have had the patience for that, because you're seeing this one much later than that. Okay. So this pool that I created here, I got in it earlier, I don't know, about 1 o'clock or so, when it was real hot, 1:30, something like that. It was cold. It's 3 o'clock now, and this water is much warmer. So that's just because it's sitting here and it's getting heated up. Look at all these little critters in the water. I don't really like those things. They weren't here before. That's what I'm saying about opening this up so that you can let all this out. Basically, you can come in here with a broom and sweep everything out and then block this off, and it'll fill up real quick. Then you'll have clean water that you're not sharing with anything else. So just didn't think of it at first, but that's what I would do. That's what I do different next time. So if I come back to this spot, we'll see if this thing's even still here. I suspect somebody will tear it open, but if they haven't, I'll make it so that it's openable. Who knows? Maybe I'll find some heavy-duty bristle brush on a job site. By the way, dragonflies here are amazing. I've seen 4 or 5 different types of dragonflies. I've seen a lot of creepy critters. I don't know. I say creepy. They look kind of creepy. I've never seen them before. There are these bugs that live in the water. They look like they're black. They look like little... boy, I don't know. It's a combination between a crab and a scorpion. Weird looking. Anyhow, I might bring a bristle brush here and some other stuff, and then, you know, come up with a system to hang them and leave them here, like right up against this tree. Little sign, hey, open up the dam, scrub it out, scrub all the algae off. Plug up the dam, let it fill up. Now you got yourself a nice clean hole to sit in. I don't know. I think that's how you do it. Alright, so I found this stick with a natural Y in it. Pretty hefty. I was able to lift the weight of it up off of that tree I put there. So now maybe this thing's got a better chance for its roots, you know, to get stronger in that position. Let it uplift, you know. That's south. It's going to want to start directing its, you know, self over that way, probably. You know, we'll see what happens. Maybe one day I'll come back and check in on it. Apparently, this area gets like 10 feet of snow or more. If you walk through some of these trails, there's markers. They're very high up because of snow level for snowmobiles. Anyhow, I feel good about that. Am I weird? One last point of interest here. Stacking the logs like that and sitting there, it's a bit of a windbreak, but more importantly, it traps the heat in. It reflects the heat. It's like a heat retaining wall. So last night, I mean, I knew that already after the first night, but last night it was funny. I got up, I said, I'm sure I'm right about this. And I had my poncho, blanket poncho on, and I got up and I stood behind him, and a lot colder. It gets pretty cold at night down here. Not so much up there. But down here, very, very cold. So, which I like. That's what I prefer. It gets real dark by 10 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock, you look up, the sky's black, nothing but stars. Shooting stars every night. The other night, there was 5 of them. One of them up through here. It was really cool because it went for a long time and it was orange. And it broke apart real quick and lasted another 2 seconds before it disappeared. That was probably the most spectacular shooting star I ever saw. But every night I could see the satellites crisscrossing everywhere. The only bummer is there's a lot of planes, you know, a lot of jets, and you can hear them. And then this morning there was a dog barking up there. I felt like I was back in Los Angeles already. Yeah. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this series here. I don't know, man. It was all over the place. I haven't really reviewed it all. I kind of made a couple of the videos. I got a bunch of clips I got to stitch together when I get home tomorrow to put this one together. You won't see this for about a week. I'll post a video or so every day on this trip. I hope you guys enjoyed it all. You will know that already because you will have already seen it. Thank you for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. Tell your friends. Be good to one another. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.